want to do DC Fashion Week?
Well, I did a big show first in New York at the historic Apollo Theater. And then I came back to DC and I did a showcase at the Ronald Reagan Building with Hummer. I was very excited about doing that show. And then after the show, I wanted to know what was next. Like, how did I get in contact? How did I get in contact with buyers and get into stores and really do more brand other than just having, aunts and aunties and friends in the audience? And I thought that there wasn't a professional trade show in DC at all, which I thought was very strange. It was capital. So I started the nonprofit DC Fashion Week. Our mission was is to establish Washington, DC as a center of international fashion. And it's been international from its inception. What makes us different is that we weren't afraid to go against the grain of fashion. Although fashion at that time really saw beauty as one way and almost as one race, we have always been diverse. We've always included diversity. We've always been inclusive. We started our first fashion week with real plus size models, like up to sizes 18 and 22. We were the first major fashion week to incorporate an all modesty fashion show. This happened right after 9/11. We just need to break barriers and change the face of fashion.
Well, what makes DC Fashion Week so unique, and what does it share? What's the main difference from all the other fashion weeks around the country?
Well, for us, we're a nonprofit, so we definitely get back. We support the local economy, of course. We support local artists. We infuse music with it. We're extremely diverse. We have representation from all over the globe. Being in the nation's capital and that we host, we're the home of many embassies. That's our gateway to our international designers who want to come to the United States and introduce their creativity to the American market. So that's first and foremost. And then DC, there's no other place like it in the world. I mean, this is the nation's capital. Our policies affect change in the fashion industry, such as models using visas to be able to come here and work in the United States for fashion, to copy and trademark for designers' fashions. So DC, we're known for our politics and tourism, but we also play a very pivotal role in the fashion community.
Well, I think that's one of the most significant things about your events is that you not only utilize models from the local area, but you have a cadre of models from all over the world.
We really believe that beauty comes in all shapes and forms, and so DC is very diverse, and we try to capitalize on that. As of late, we made a strict focus to only use models that are actually based in DC. For the past 15 years, we've allowed models from all over the world to come to DC Fashion Week and showcase, which of course has been great. And we still allow our special guest designers who are from overseas to bring a signature model. But it's important to us that we start with us, and that's the DC fashion community. So therefore, as of last season, we require that all models that are participating in Fashion Week, with the exception of special guest models, they reside in the DC area. Because not only do we want to do Fashion Week, we want to open up opportunities for them to work with other producers, other event organizers, and to just grow that opportunity to continue to work with them, whether it be our local music artists for music videos, for our photographers that are looking to build their books, to working with our local publications. We want to have the talent that's based here so we continue to help them grow versus having our talent having to go everywhere else to try to get opportunities.
So why are you the person to lead the way, and how, especially how it's portrayed in DC? Why is it that's you? Why you?
For me, well, one, I have the vision to really gather the community together and say, hey, we want to showcase the talent that's based here in DC. I also wear many, many, many hats. I have a professional modeling career. One of the first African-American males to be signed to all the major agencies here in DC. I've done both television work and film. I've been featured in numerous publications from around the world as a model. I'm also a self-taught designer. I've showcased all over the world, including Amsterdam and Serbia and Ukraine. I'm in numerous publications, including British Vogue, the front page of the Washington Post in the style section, and Upscale magazine, and just many, many publications. I'm a published photographer as well. I've also trained and taught models at a leading modeling school, John Casablanca, for over a decade. So because I have such a hands-on experience with modeling and fashion and design, and also I'm a designer of two successful labels, that gives me, you know, the criteria to be, you know, executive director of DC Fashion Week. And there are not very many people that can do all those things. They can manage them, but to actually have the hands-on experience, that's not really common in Fashion Week presidents.
Well, not only that, but many of the models that have worked with you, they've gone on to stellar careers.
Oh, absolutely. I love bragging. We have some alumni that have done great things. We've had a model from Fashion Week be featured on almost every season of American Next Top Model, including both male winners, both being featured in Fashion Week. We have models on the runway. We have models that have done every season of BET Rip the Runway. We have models that are gracing the pages of various magazines and walking for esteemed fashion houses from around the world. Everyone from, we have a design fashion week that's, they have all relocated to New York, which of course is a bigger market, and walk for such prestigious brands like Kanye West's brand, Sean John, Betsy Johnson, Ralph Lauren, just a number of top leading fashion labels have used models from the DC area.
So
and they got their start at DC Fashion Week. That's
at DC Fashion Week. I tell you, I told you I had a good name for you, brother. You're the kingpin of DC, and you just do so many amazing things. You're someone to emulate. So a lot of young, up and coming designers and models, what kind of information would you impart to them to ensure that they get a good start in their careers?
But first and foremost, I recommend everyone get an education. I'm self-taught, so as a result, I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. But during that process, I've learned from those mistakes, and it motivated me to just start doing research, because you can sometimes hear a designer's life in one book and learn from the mistakes and draw influences from that. And we have a number of people in the industry that are publishing their memoirs, you know, as of late, and they're in their 60s and 70s and 80s, and you can gain knowledge from hearing from their experiences and apply them to your own life. So I definitely would say get an education. Get a solid foundation in there so you'll know what you want to do in this industry. Some people want to model, some people want to design, some people want to do PR, some people want to do representation, some people want to manage models, some people want to do promotions. There's just so many jobs in the fashion industry, and DC is voted as one of the best places for a creative to start their business. So we have a mayor that heavily supports the fashion community, better than any mayor we've had in the past. We have the Go2 Creates initiative, which allows all the creative community, from fashion to dance to music, to all collaborate during that month of September and share resources. I mean, it's the best time to be in DC and being creative. So I'm very excited about that.